Start. Hare Krishna devotees, Dandava Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Welcome to our weekly BhagavatSanga program. In this program, devotees will read from a set of prayers from Srimad Bhagavatam, from exalted devotees of the Lord, and share their realizations from these verses. We are continuing the theme of the prayers of Akrura. Very beautiful prayers, and this is we are wrapping up in this week and next week will be wrapped up with these prayers. So it's a great time to reread them and reflect on them. The references for these prayers is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 40, verse 1 through 30. Today we have a very wonderful devotee presenting, Her Grace Rohini Devidasi Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, so much for accepting this service, and I will turn it over to you to present your realizations. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, devotees. Thank you for giving this opportunity and accepting the presentation. I will try my best, like my understanding how to present about Akrura prayers, the relation between Akrura in with Krishna in devotion. First, I will start with the prayers, Prabhuji. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Shunvatam Swakataha Krishnaha Punyashravana Kirtanaha Hridhi Antasto Hi Abhadrani Vidhunote Sukrutsatam Nashtaprayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakte Bhavati Naistiki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Aham Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So I am going to tell about Akrura. What is the relation between Akrura and Sri Krishna and Kamsa a little bit, and we will move on to the story. That means like pastimes of Krishna. Kamsa was the ruler of the Mathura province, and after a few days later, like Narada revealed to Kamsa that who is what is the real identity of Krishna and where he was and what he is going to do and why he born and all. Kamsa was scared, and Kamsa decided to arrange some wrestling match and wanted to invite a festival from in Mathura. From Vrindavana. He wants to invite Krishna and Nanda Maharaj and Balaram, and he chose Akrura. He's the right person, and he's a maternal uncle for Krishna. He's also like him, like a Kamsa, like he's also one of the maternal uncle to Krishna, like Kamsa, as Acharyas mentioned. And he's a trustworthy in his team, like Kamsa's team, and he's a good agent, and he can convey the best message in calmly, neatly to the Krishna. That's what he chose the Akrura to send Vrindavana, and he has presented the new chariot to bring the Krishna and Balaram also from Vrindavan. So like that, Akrura set the chariot for Vrindavana, and when he traveled all day in his chariot from Mathura to Vrindavana, he was meditating. He was reminding in thoughts of Krishna and Balaram, and the way he wants to treat the Krishna and Balarama like obeisances, and Krishna and Balaram's opulences, and the powers he heard from in the Mathura itself. and he was meditating, and he wants to obeisances as soon as he saw them. And also he meditated how Krishna and Balaram will also respond. That was also he is meditating and imagining in their thoughts only. And so that, like, he's thinking that, like, he want to clean whatever the sinful acts so far, so many janmas, by seeing them and by touching their faces. And he was thinking so that his life will become a perfect. In that process, he almost reached outside of the Vrindavana. So out on Akrura observed, like, the footprints of the Krishna, which are decorated with the special marks like the lotus feet, a rod, a flag, and an umbrella. These are all one mark is each mark having their own significance. The normal people don't have these kind of marks and footprints like when we did, but Krishna is a supreme person, and and his team has, like, especially Sri Krishna and Radha Rani, Balaram, Chaitanya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these supreme personalities having their own identity in even footprints also. So Akrura, after seeing his Krishna's footprints, he lost his balance, and he was fell on the ground, like, and shedded tears and crying like a baby. And by seeing, he was feeling so wonderful after so many. I mean, by seeing that kind of a footprints itself, like, we feel excitement, like, ecstatic in our body. But same thing, like Krishna also, like in Akrura also got the same feeling, and he was rolling, like, and apart from that, he forgot his position. And Vishwanath Chakravarti is explaining about how Akrura gave up his four things while entering into Vrindavana. Those four things also, it will help as a normal people for us also to reach Krishna, uh, to keep Krishna in our heart. So those are very important. I felt like, Akrura gave up. One is the pride, the false pride. This is my body. I am in this position in this material life. Like, I have studied this much. I have earned this much. This kind of false prestige. So that material position, though Akrura is a minister for the Mathura province and under Kamsa, he gave up that one. So otherwise, he cannot roll on the footprints, like, of a Vrindavana road. So that itself shows that, like, if he is in a material position, he will be stiff and, acting like, he doesn't know anything like that. He identified, he observed that footprints, and out of bhava, he fell down and and cried for that footprints. That means he totally don't have any false ego. So false pride. The second he gave up is fear, because he could have a fear for Kamsa, because Kamsa will punish him, because, like, he is excited and happy to see visit the Krishna and Balaram. Kamsa might show angry on Akrura, because he is enemy of Kamsa. So he might show angry on Akrura also. That fear also he gave up. And third one, Akrura gave up sorrow and lamenting. Sorrow and lamenting for his family. Because, he's attached with his family, and because when mm, Kamsa realized Akrura is actually loving his enemy Krishna, Kamsa could have created problems to his own Akrura's family, so that, like, that fear and sorrow and kind of lamenting, everything, that feelings he has given up, like, and the last one, he gave up the disqualification. He's disqualified to see one-on-one direct eye-to-eye contact with the Lord, Supreme Lord, but still, and I mean, still, like, he feel that he is very, very low to visit Krishna Balaram, but still, like, he gave up that, because this is the greater mercy. He felt like in a Krishna's mercy. This is very less compared to Krishna's mercy. This disqualification is very less compared to Krishna's mercy. That way, he gave up that disqualification also. Even apart from that, he thought he was thinking that even with this less disqualification, also with less strength, I would like to remember a Lord and glorify when I meet him. That's what he was thinking, and traveled to Vrindavana. The same way I feel like that, like, even we are fallen, like, we need to use our little strength to purify ourselves. So we need to remember Krishna, Krishna Leela, Krishna Katha, and we need to hear about Krishna so that our mind will purify, and slowly, slowly we will attach it to Krishna, go back to Godhead, and we won't come back to this material world. So, and slowly in this mood, like, after seeing footprints of Krishna, then Akrura went in the chariot itself to the Krishna and Balaram where they were. They were in Goshala. They are milking the cows, and Krishna dressed like in a yellow garments, and the Balaram was dressed like a blue color dhoti and shawl. They were so beautiful and handsome, and not only that, like they're very calm and pleasant, and in their pleasing in their faces, and they are decorated with the garlands and many many ornaments also. And they both were milking in the goshala and enjoying with the goats. And this scene will make him so excited and exacted. And again Akrura jumped from the chariot and fell on the ground, and his voice was choked, and tears were coming, and he could not speak also anything. What he was thinking, he could not speak while he was experiencing seeing the Krishna and Balarama eye to eye, and obeisance the Krishna and Balarama. And Krishna Balarama understood, and they lifted him and embraced Akrura and taking him inside the house and gave the prasadam. And Akrura's life was become now perfect by seeing Lord directly. Who will get like direct eye to eye contact, like, very how many janmas it takes, like, how much purification needed, how much devotion needed, how much renunciation for the material senses, like, and the self sense objects towards renunciation of sense objects. All these very few souls, and that's what, like, Akrura is one of them, and that's what he is in the Bhagavata Purana. So many souls are there, but none of them, very few are the souls are named in Bhagavatam only. Akrura got that chance, like, and because of his devotion towards Krishna and Balaram. Akrura, whatever about Krishna and Balaram, and whatever he imagined and whatever his mood he was meditated while before meeting Krishna is totally is greater than what he imagined. So that is what, like, real Krishna consciousness. Real Krishna conscious means, like, they will give up all the sense gratification related and whatever the objects, what I said. Slowly slowly, whatever the small things also, it looks like for them, like, and that too when they see, like, when they heard about the Krishna and Krishna's pastime, not only one pastimes, so many pastimes, and that too he was there in that time, like in that period. So we can imagine how much blissful he is, like, and when he's see direct contact with the Krishna and Balaram. So, and sometimes we get the doubt, like, is it really possible for us also, like, since we are reading Bhagavatam, we are reminding all the devotees, like, who are exalted in devotion, but is it possible for us? And sometimes we get doubt also. We may give up, but we're not supposed to give up, as Akrura mentioned the last one like gave up like a disqualification with the little strength of ours, though we are sinful fallen souls, but we need to um give put the hope that the following by following the process given by the acharyas and worshipping the deities form. We cannot see Krishna directly like Akrura, but uh, we can worship the deities form so that we may get the mood of gopis a little bit and Akrura's mood also. So with that only we need to move forward. That's what my realization. So coming to the pastimes, Nanda Maharaja inquired politics and about the Kamsa's ruling, and Nanda Maharaj is asking Akrura that like is really Kamsa protecting citizens, and like this they were talking, and Krishna and Balarama took Akrura inside and asking how Krishna how about Madhura, and Krishna told to Akrura that how Kamsa is giving some suffering to his own parents Vasudeva. Then Akrura revealed, oh, okay, so Krishna, I want to share one thing, Kamsa is calling you, is inviting you, both of you, because he wants to kill you. That is his plan in this festival moods in Mathura. So the boys heard and then they smiled. They know they are Paramatmas and they have, nobody will not defeat them. They know that, but they didn't express it. But so, no, like that, Nanda Maharaj, Balaram and Krishna decided to go to visit to participate the festivals of Mathura also. So like that, like they started in their own vehicles, and Akrura became charioteer to the Krishna and Balarama. Now the biggest thing. This is the last visit, and they don't know. The gopis don't know. Young gopis, they don't know anything. They have no idea. But still, out of the elderly gopas, they packed whatever the things they needed to take to the Mathura, and they came back to their houses, respective houses, in that night, and they were talking to their family members that about the Krishna won't come back again. These young gopis were little ones, they were deep sorrow, and they won't see Krishna, means they were they are always in the thoughts and they are playful to the Krishna. They all together so far, that separation, the thoughts also they could not digest, and they were next day, meeting Akrura, and they are saying your name is Akrura, meaning no cruelty, but you came as a cruel, you are separating us and Krishna permanently, and criticizing, in a words, out of love on Krishna only. That Akrura, he understood and he was quiet. And they with that separation, deep separation, finally they ended up with prayers to Krishna. This is Gopi prayer, Gopi Gita. These are very famous prayers also. And gopis are and that too young gopis are very deep love with Krishna. Their love is compared the acharyas with condensed milk. Condensed milk is always thick, not like a normal milk. Normal milk is less love, like we can compare, and condensed milk is a deeper love mood. Then we can they compared that way. And so they started, chariot started. Krura took the permission from the both the boys and wanted to take Sandhya Vandana in the Yamuna river. There, when he went in the Yamuna river, he saw the Krishna and Balarama in the water. And Akrura was confused. What is happening? The boys were in chariot, right? Why they were, I'm seeing in the water. Then again, he went and checked in the chariot, and both Krishna and Balarama were there. And he saw in the water also. He saw in both the places. Then he thought, oh, this is a special mercy for him by Krishna. So he sees the Vishnu form and on Ananta Sesha, and he sees Narada Muni and other devotees and devatas and Vaikuntha Loka in the water itself. So, and he started praying like Akrura, like, and once he came back to the chariot and he started praying to Krishna, and by seeing Krishna and Balaram like this. I will recite few of the verses because very very less time. So, Sri Akrovacha Natosmi aham tvakila hetu hetum Narayanam Purusam Adyam Avyayam Jannabhijatad Aravinda Kosa Brahma Brahma Virasidiyata Esa Lokaham भूस्तोऽयम् अग्निः पवनं खम् आदिर् महान् अजादिर्मन इन्द्रियाणि सर्वेन्द्रियार्था विबुधाश्च सर्वे ये हेतवस्ते जगतोऽङ्ग भूतः नैते स्वरूपं विदुर् आत्मनस्ते हि अजादयो आत्मात्मया गृहीतः अजो अजोऽनुबन्धः सगुणैरजाय गुणात् परं वेदनाते स्वरूपम् त्वां योगिनो यजन्ति अधा महापुरुषम् ईश्वरं साध्यात्मं साधिभूतं च साधिदैवं च साध्वः. The translations by Srila Prabhupada, the translations are like this. Sri Akrura said, I bow down to you, the cause of all causes, the origin and inexhaustible supreme person, Narayana, from the whole world of the lotus, born from your novel, Brahma appeared, and by his agency, this universe has come into being. He is praying like, I will shorten the translation and purport like, and my understanding in a few points. And he's praying like that, all the you are the supreme cause of all and come from all senses, came from you. And even Brahmaji cannot understand whose body is made with intelligence. Our body is made with earth, water, air, fire, and ether. But Brahmaji's body is made with intelligence. Still, he could not understand you, your actions. What about us? And like that, Brahmaji gave up, and he was not able to understand you, Krishna, and he was he becomes success in his meditation, which is given the duties given by you. So like that, like he's praying, and Krishna in these prayers, like Akrura is telling different classes of people worshipping you, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, in different ways. Primitive workers worship Lord by performing Vedic sacrifices. Philosophers by renouncing the material work and pursuing spiritual knowledge. Yogis, the philosophers means like who wants to know that like the original, like devotion, like where it comes, these kind of curiosity people, they will give up the material works and they fully focus on to know about the spiritual knowledge. So yogis by meditation, and Saivatas are by worshipping Lord Shiva, and Vaishnavas by following the Pancharatra rules and regulations. All these people, whoever is worshipping, whichever way they are worshipping, they will reach you, the Vishnu. And but but it takes many janmas, like in this process, and in these janmas, some maybe move forward, some may be backward, due to the material energies of the Lord and the material modes, influence of the modes within them and outside also. These all matters, like to move forward. So that's what practically it takes time basically. And it is not guaranteed also whether this janma, when we are in human form, next janma may not. So that is not guaranteed, because our deeds, will decided by the devatas, where we need to be. So what we need to take this from this point is, we need, whenever we get the chance or the messages, um, the gurus and Guru Parampara devotees, they are trying their best to, share their knowledges and their realizations through modern technology. That we need to take it as an advantage. Once we meet, the message, we should not ignore just like lightly, and we need to take it very seriously. So at the end of that life, when we become old also, we will get bored, and may, as we discussed like before, we may, because of the moods, we may fall down. So if you have it determined to move forward towards Krishna or the good messages given by the Krishna way, so then we need, when we contact with the message, then we need to continuously listen that message. Hearing is the most important one, and associate with directly, you need to associate with the temple devotees and continue the seva to Krishna. And Krishna's message is the ultimate message. So it helps the soul to renounce the material things, and as well attach to the Krishna and Krishna's message. The acharyas are recommended to the 9 processes for realizing the God. So slowly, when we take these steps, these steps will make us also in a perfect stage, or perfect in devotion. So those are 9 Navavida Bhaktis. Prahlad Maharaj mentioned this one. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnoho Smaranam Padasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. These 9 processes are hearing, Shravanam. We can follow 9 processes at the same time, or couple, or one also. Because I feel like a 9 process are here and there, we need to use it. Otherwise, with one in this Kali Yuga, in this age, I think it's difficult. So hearing is the first must and should do. Hearing what, we supposed to hear only Krishna Katha. When we feel that, yeah, this message is makes sense to me. Who told this? Who are this organization? Who, like, to know more and more the messages, then uh, we need to be curious, to know about, to learn about, and to move forward, to determine with that. And that um, that will happen through hearing only. Careful hearing each word of the God's message. That is the example is given. Maharaj Parikshit, he has only 7 days for his life. Last 7 days, he listened very carefully from Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, and chanting Sukadeva Goswami Kirtanam. Uh, Chanting is nothing but Kirtanam. Maharaj Parikshit, Sukadeva Goswami, he spoke about the Bhagavatam to Maharaj Parikshit very clearly, neatly, detailedly. So another one, like a third one, remembering Vishnu Smaranam. Prahlad Maharaj is the best example. Never forget Krishna. So he is the father for all the living entities. He's a small kid, and he has such a strong faith. Otherwise, from Krishna Loka, Krishna himself take form like a Narsimha Avatara for Prahlad, only because of Prahlad. And through Prahlad, he gave the pleasure to other devotees also, who are not in that degree level. So the fourth one, acharyas are recommending serving the Lord's lotus feet, Pada Sevanam. This is nothing but Pada Sevanam. Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, is always engaged in serving the lotus feet of the Lord. So the fifth one, deity worship, Archanam. Maharaj Prutu used all his royal position in order to offer them in a pure devotion to the Lord. So though he is a king, but he did not ignore. He can lavishly enjoy the material things, but he did not do. That's what his name is in Bhagavatam. Now also in this age also we are remembering him means because his devotional qualities. So that make him in the his name is in the Bhagavatam. Praying and Vandanam, Akrura. Now we spoke with about Akrura, how his mood was like, and though he has so much fear, he was under the Kamsa, like, but still his mood was like, fully like, wanted to see, meet the Krishna. That shows that like, how convinced himself like, about Krishna. So the seventh one is executing orders, Dasyam, Hanumanji. He was like, executed every single order from Ramachandra and become closer to the Ramachandra. And it is very, I mean, for us, like, Krishna won't come. Then who will give the orders? The gurus only will give. That we not supposed to disobey. Like, we need to do our best, like, either physically or like anything, any services given to us, we need to do our best unless until our health is not permitted. The eighth one, serving as a friend, Sakyam. Arjuna was so close to Krishna that Lord offered himself to become his charioteer driver and serve Arjuna and his brothers in various ways. We all know, otherwise, so much intimacy like between Krishna and Arjuna. That way, he believed that he don't have any envies on anybody and Krishna also. That he knows, Krishna knows that. That's what like Krishna showed. Viswarupa, he never showed to anybody. Viswarupa means all demigods, like, the powers. I mean, all departments. The Krishna is given to each individual. All demigods they came in one place. Even demigods also are not seen. So that kind of opportunity is given to Arjuna because he is a very good friend to Krishna. And ninth one, complete surrender, Atmanivedana. Bali Maharaj gave his Vamana Deva his entire kingdom, his possession as well as his own body. Although his own spiritual master was against. Master is saying, don't do that. Like, master is the Guru. Guru is the best uh, well-wisher to every living being. In that too, when he is in a king position, like, Guru always, and Brahmana and Guru as a Sukracharya, he guided Bali Maharaj, don't believe this person like, Vamana who came in the little boy form, but he is a Vishnu. But since he gave the word that, and he surrendered whole thing, and he himself, he surrendered his body. That these are the best examples and follow, um, so that we can follow them. With our little strength, we need to improve our strength uh, by chanting Harinam and understand his message and take his Krishna's help only uh, um, to understand Krishna's leelas and how he's doing in our lives. Also, we need to understand and accept Krishna as it is by surrendering. A little surrender is also fine, that's what I feel, and not giving up the process which is given by the Guru Parampara. So, I would like to conclude with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We need to surrender Krishna and Guru's messages, the process which is given by Parampara, and go back, and we'll try our best to go back to Godhead, and we depend on the Krishna's mercy also fully. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Very wonderful, wonderful class, Mataji. You have many, many points. I will try to cover a few of them. You explained, who Kamsa was, Akrura, Krishna, how Akrura was meditating on Krishna, and how he thought that seeing them will give him perfection, how he observed the footprints, and how only supreme personalities they have these footprints. How Akrura forgot his position, he was overcome with bhava. And then I really liked, you said the four things he gave up: false pride, fear, sorrow, lamentation, and his qualifications. So, and you said we need to give up these things if we want to keep Krishna in our heart. So, very nice point, Mataji. And then, you spoke about how Akrura meets Krishna and Balaram and Nanda Maharaj, and um, you also talked about how we get doubts, but if we give up the process because we get doubts, then we'll be in this cycle forever. So um, with the little strength that we have, we should follow the process, worship the deities, and then we can't see Krishna like Akrura, but we can see Krishna hopefully through the mercy of devotees and Guru. You also talked about how um, the young gopis were in deep sorrow because they will be separated from Krishna. How their love is compared to condensed milk, so it's the sweetest of love for Krishna. Then you describe the pastime where he sees Akrura sees the Lord and Balaram in the river. And then you very nicely recited the prayers. You explained how Krishna is supreme, all cause of all causes, how even Brahma can't understand Krishna. How Akrura talks about different people approach Krishna, but in different ways, philosophers, yogis, Shaivites, Vaishnavas, but it'll take many, many lifetimes and you can go forward or backward. It's not guaranteed. But what we can do is, because we have this opportunity that, we have Sri Prabhupada, we have these books, we have prayers, we should take advantage of it, to take it very, very seriously, associate with devotees and serve Krishna. And then very nicely you concluded everything by giving, the Nava Bhakti, um, nine processes of bhakti, and how, gave examples for each one: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padusevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dhyasyam, Sankyam, and Atmanivedhanam. And finally, you concluded that again, we have to take Krishna's help, understand Krishna's leelas, and little surrender is good, but we is necessary, and we should not give up the process. So thank you so much, Mataji. It was a wonderful class. Um, uh, so nicely you summarized the pastime, background and the verses. With that, devotees, thank you all for joining. Next week is the last week that we will cover prayers of Akrura. Then after that, we are starting the prayers of Melakvera. If you haven't signed up and you're interested in presenting and reading the next set of prayers, please sign up. I will share the sign up sheet again. Thank you all for